Alrighty, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Welcome to talking shit, man. It's your boy, man, PG the Hustler, man. Um, got some updates and some new shit for y'all, man. We got some new shit to talk about, man. Y'all should have enough time, man, to go ahead and roll y'all shit up, man. Man, like I said before, y'all that was watching, checking me out already, checking the broadcast or just tuned in. Sorry I'm late. Long day. Let's get into it though, man. I know y'all remember the other dude. We gonna take it all the way back. We're going all the way back to George Floyd, man. I know. Just bear with me. Breaking news, new shit. Yeah, boy.
With breaking news on the fate of a former Minneapolis police officer who is charged in the murder of George Floyd. A judge has found Tou guilty of aiding and abetting manslaughter.
Tou,
This was the last case still to be decided against the 4 officers involved. Instead of going to trial, Tou had asked the judge to decide whether he was guilty based on the evidence in the case. Hennepin County Judge Peter Cahill announced that guilty verdict this morning. Tou's sentencing is now set for August 7th. He was already sentenced to 3.5 years in federal court for violating George Floyd's civil rights. Now, in a statement just released, Minnesota's Attorney General Keith Ellison, who had been the lead prosecutor of George Floyd's murder, said that the conviction of Tou is historic and the right outcome. Ellison says it brings one more measure of accountability in the tragic death of George Floyd.
Building your online business?
Hey, now that's what's up. Most definitely. That's what's up. I'm glad they decided to go ahead and charge his punk ass too, man. Cause I mean, he needed it. He needed it. Cause he shouldn't have been he should have helped that man. Everybody know. I ain't even finna harp on it. Everybody know he should have stopped that shit. Anybody should have stopped it. Everybody should have stopped it. Everybody that was there, they should have stopped doing it, man. We should still be having, it should be no George Floyd situation. It shouldn't be nothing even to talk about, man. Anyway, man, moving on. Y'all know how we do, man.
On this from day one and said it's something absolutely wrong with this whole picture. Black male
Rasheem
calls
Carter.
the police. He says, hey, there are white people chasing me. He then texts his mother. He says, Mom, my boss wants the guys who work for him to kill me. If something happens to me, just know what it is.
Y'all remember this story a couple weeks ago?
Young man is found dead, head decapitated. Sheriff comes out immediately. Oh, no foul play. No foul play here. This had to be some kind of animal in the wild. We said on day one, hell to the no. There's something else going on here.
It did Rasheem bad.
Let's get it. Put up the picture of the young man. He should be alive. He's dead. He reached out to the right entities. He reached out to the police and to his mother. But because he put it on record, there may actually be justice somewhere in the future. Now we have a third set of remains found in Mississippi. Rasheem Carter, 25 years of age when he was killed. He was found nearly decapitated after he told the police he was being chased by a group of white men in Taylorsville, Mississippi. He was reported missing on October 2nd, 2022. One day after the encounter of being chased by these white men. And his skeletal remains were found on November 2nd in a wooded area in Taylorsville. The family was initially told by the local sheriff that foul play was not suspected and that animals had destroyed his remains. Their attorney, Ben Crump, called Carter's death a Mississippi lynching, and I agree with Benjamin Crump. This was during a press conference in March. The third set of Carter's remains were found February 23rd, and the family was notified via email.
Come on, man.
There's more. Here's what Attorney Ben Crump said in a statement. The family of Rasheem Carter, while still deep in grief, is being denied adequate information and closure from the Mississippi officials overseeing this case.
Alexa, mute.
From the beginning of this case, the family has been misled. At first, when the first of Rasheem's remains were discovered with his head decapitated from his body, officials told the family that it was animals that killed Rasheem. Then officials admitted that they believed he was murdered, end quote. Crump would condemn the authorities for
murdered.
How they've handled this. Let's put it up. Now it is unacceptable that the family had to find out through an email that more of Rasheem's remains were found, and still they haven't been told any other information, been offered a meeting with officials, or received his remains. He continued. They continue to be stonewalled at every turn. This family just wants to find out what happened to Rasheem and say their goodbyes. They ask that the additional remains be returned to them so that they can lay him to rest. Let's talk about this questionable autopsy, all right? Because people will point to it. The Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office completed a forensic anthropology examination. This happened on the 2nd of February. That's according to WJTV News. The press secretary for the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, Bailey Martin, said that the condition of Carter's remains prevents the cause of death from being reasonably determined. All right? Let's put up the Smith County Sheriff, Joel Houston. So Joel told NBC News Carter's co-workers were ruled out as suspects because their phones pinged nearly 100 miles away at another job site when Carter was allegedly last seen alive on a landowner's game camera on October 2nd. The sheriff said that Carter's co-workers claimed that he had been moody and they weren't able to joke around with him. And the way they did, or the way they did in previous days. The sheriff says, no foul play here. His co-workers didn't do it. As a matter of fact, they said it was something wrong with the fella. He wasn't himself lately. What? The man who has remains scattered in 3 different places on the planet. The man that has his body ripped apart is criticized by the sheriff for having a bad mood. Yeah, I would be in a bad mood too if I knew my coworkers were trying to kill me, as he said to his mother via text message.
Nobody plays
He
about
sent it
that
to his
shit,
mother
man.
and said,
Nobody play about that shit.
Here's what may happen to me. That evidence is secured for the record now. And this whole idea about, well, the cell phone was 100 miles away. Well, how convenient. That means you've proven one thing, Sheriff, where the cell phone was located. That's all you've proven. Nothing more.
Right.
Why were you so quick to defend this? Why were you so quick?
They could have left
to
their
say,
phone
move
somewhere,
on,
made
nothing to
calls,
investigate.
then go deal
This
with what
was
they
an
had to
animal.
do, then come back.
If it was an animal,
that's like, come
why
on,
is it
man.
that you can't conclusively determine based on forensics that it was an animal? Believe me,
kind of animal?
Forensic scientists are well aware of how to track an animal killing on a human body. This is one of the most extreme cases and possibly one of the most extreme cover-ups right now in law enforcement. That is a great possibility, especially when you look at this evidence. Okay? So look at what has happened. The man said, I'm being chased. He calls the police. Okay? Police do nothing. He dies. Police come out. They say, hey, this had to be a wild animal that did this to him with no evidence or investigation. But the mother has a text message that says, from the son, they're trying to kill me. And then on the day of, you have to consider when he said this is going to happen to me, the co-worker that took him to work had been taking him to work every day. That co-worker decided not to take him to work that day because they had an argument. Ricky, what are your thoughts here?
The United States is like a decayed tooth, but Mississippi is like the part of the decay next to the nerve.
Yeah.
And I'm real mad about this. I can go on for days about this. I think the United States Justice Department need to be hovering over every single department in the state of Mississippi. I think they killed him. 1 + 1 = 2.
Facts.
I mean, just based on the circumstantial information that you and I have, I think we can probably almost probably convict those co-workers or whatever if we had any eyes on that case. I think it needs to be another autopsy done. I think the FBI need to be involved. And I think we need to shake Mississippi up and turn it upside down. Mississippi, man, I hear stories like that coming out of Mississippi, Georgia, and different parts of Florida and Alabama all the time, far too often. This right-wing racist, it's no different from the movie Mississippi Burning, when the Fed had to come and show up, in order to try to stand up for poor people. I'm just really, really disappointed. I'm hurt. My heart goes out to the Carter family or whatever, but I really hope the United States Justice Department get involved and take over this case and investigate and convict those low-down Ku Klux Klan members, mob. I even think the mob is no different from what it was in the 40s and the 50s. It's still going on at night. They just don't wear the hoods anymore. They wear the Make America Great Again hats and the Confederate flag hats and traded the hoods in for that. And they're racist to the core. And I said what I said, and I meant it.
You are 100% correct.
Facts.
This young man did not do all of this because he was unsure about his environment. He did it because he was pretty sure about his environment. It takes a lot to go to the police because you fear your life, but he did. It takes a lot to tell your mom, I may die, but he did. That takes a lot. All right. We'll continue to follow that story, bring you updates as they come.
Yeah,
you may have tried dropshipping in the past, and you might have started to get sales.
Shouts out to Rashad, Richie, and Ricky Smiley for bringing this update, for keeping us updated on that, because honestly, I feel the same way Rick do. It's a modern day lynching. Like, there's no way, this is my biggest thing about this whole thing, or my biggest thought about this whole thing is that I seen a post late a couple days ago. Somebody I know, somebody I grew up with on Facebook, put something out and said it's funny that y'all know. Matter of fact, I think Tone Spit put that out. I think Tony Spitz put that out. I thought it was Jimmy, but it might have been Tony. Either Jimmy or Tony, man. One of them cats put this out, man. They said, man, it's funny how y'all know, or it might have been Rudy, man, because Rudy Ray be dropping knowledge, man. But he said it's funny that y'all know all about the celebrity gossip and the sports stuff and the sports shit, but y'all very seldom know about the things that's going on in your own backyard or in your community. Like, for instance, we just had an election. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know of how many people voted in these elections, but these are the ones that matter, not this dumbass presidency. That's already selected by the Congressional Congress. Everybody knows that. But these local ones, this is what counts. These are the things that count. I mean, that's just a true statement. Everybody knows everything else, and everybody know about what they talking about. You know what I'm saying, on these social media sites and on everything, but very rarely do they know about what's going on in their own yard. I bet a lot of people didn't even know about Rashad. And this is something that we all need to be paying attention to, because this shit right here is so ridiculous, and it's so, like, it's right here. It's right here in your own back. This is 2023. And they basically hunted this man down and killed him. No one tells their mother, especially no man, no black man, nobody tells their mother their father, their aunt, their uncle, their friend. Nobody tells them. Nobody's gonna play about that shit. If something happened to me, these people did it, and I'm telling you this right now because I've already been told. He called the police. In 2023, this man called the police. This 25-year-old black man called the police and said, somebody's going to kill me. They're trying to kill me. This is an open and fucking shut case, man. No 25-year-old black male in America this day and age fucks with the police. And this is why. They steady fucking us up, but they don't care if we get fucked up. And we all know this shit, man. It ain't no motherfucking secret, man. That shit just that shit pisses me off. But anyway, man, let's move on, man. Let's go to some super breaking news. Something that just happened like a couple hours ago. I don't know if y'all just heard about this, man, but we finna check it out. And I was busy, so I ain't really hear about it. So let's get on into this next story, y'all.
Now we join him now from downtown Atlanta, outside Atlanta Police Headquarters. Cody, this has been a very curious case from the beginning. After all of the violence in Midtown, it then transpawns up to Marietta and Smyrna, and finally at around 8 o'clock tonight, they are able to capture him, apparently alive. And this has certainly had a look of which we have not seen in many years here at Atlanta.
And it's about to get crazier when you hear what I'm about to tell you on what I've been told as far as how he was captured. But first, I do want to let you know this news conference is going to be pushed back a little bit. It was scheduled for 8, but then we got news on the way down here. He was captured in Cobb County. So they're going to have a joint news conference with Cobb County Police and APD. They're on their way back with that suspect right now here to APD headquarters. So we're expecting around maybe 8:20, 8:30. We're going to get let inside around 8:10. But this is what I just got from a source with close connections to this. They say they caught this guy walking around an apartment complex, had on the same outfit that we saw those pictures of, also still armed with a weapon. They said he acted candidly as if nothing had happened today before being caught. Also getting some other unconfirmed by APD. We'll see if they'll confirm this in the news conference we're about to see, but we were calling this a carjacking, but what I'm being told now is that possibly someone left their keys in a vehicle and it was running, is how he possibly got this car so fast after that shooting on the 11th floor of Northside Hospital.
Damn.
So again, what I'm being told as far as this capture, which we'll get that information coming up during this news conference, but unconfirmed, is that he was walking around in the same outfit. We saw that picture of him from the elevator from Northside, and that it was pretty candidly just walking around as if nothing had happened. So it's going to go back to see why he was taken to the hospital this morning in the first place. Was there some type of a mental issue that his mother decided to take him to Northside to get some help today, and then something triggered this suspect, Deion Patterson, causing him to open fire, shooting those 5 innocent women, killing one of them, leaving 3 in critical condition. But again, we have moved from Northside Hospital. I was just there in the last 30 minutes. We're now here outside APD. We just want to give you an update on what we have been hearing from sources as far as the capture. We're going to go back inside here. We are expecting the sergeant to come down and take us to that news conference. But again, the reason why we've come on the air right now outside is because we do expect this to be pushed back some time, because when they called the news conference, we had not heard that Deion Patterson was caught. Now, it's not likely they're going to give us a walk shot. We're going to see him brought down here. But what I'm being told is he will be coming to APD headquarters because, yes, it's been an all-day manhunt for this guy since 12 o'clock, but he's now a homicide suspect. So they will take him into a room, interrogation room, like they do any suspect, and they'll start the interview process, which could go well into the early morning hours, because they want to know why this happened. And of course, if he needs help, they're going to try to get him help. But again, he will be formally charged if he is in fact the suspect who they've been calling suspect all day. He's going to face a homicide or a murder charge, and then at least those 4 aggravated assault charges as well. So we're going to learn a lot of new information. We're going to bring that to you live as soon as the chief walks out. We believe Cobb County will be joining APD to give us an update on the capture and just a timeline and a better understanding of what unfolded here today in Midtown that stretched over near the Battery.
Wow. We got to see what's up with that, man. I think I'm gonna do. Y'all stay tuned to my socials. I'm gonna follow this Deion thing. I'm gonna follow this thing for a minute. I'm gonna do something. Anytime I find something out about this, I'm coming to y'all with it. I'm dropping it on y'all. Off top. Off top. That's wild. This nigga was shooting at the hospital. Like I said, I hadn't even heard of it, seen it, none of this shit today. That shit. Damn, I wish I had more. I wish it was more. I wish it was more on that shit. I'm bringing y'all more. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna bring it to y'all. All right. Shit. Moving on.
Family desperate for justice, taking their demands to the district attorney's office. They want the person who they say killed a young mother arrested.
They say that person is someone the family knows all too well. WRG's April Thompson has more on the twist in this case.
What is wrong with you niggas, man?
They have more investigating to do.
About a dozen protesters with signs rallied at the state office building in Jackson, Tennessee Thursday. Tarsha Harris pushed for this demonstration, hoping it will bring answers and an arrest in the shooting death of 22-year-old Taisha Starks, her daughter.
I'm upset because my daughter was murdered. Senseless killing.
It was February 20th when Taisha showed up at this Jackson home to pick up her 1-year-old son from his father. Harris says the father's parents lived here at the time, and things had already been tense between all of them.
He knew the days that he was supposed to be keeping my grandson. My daughter had just dropped him off that Monday morning. He called her in an irate state, stating that he was not going to be able to keep my grandson, and he knew that she was in class. So she went back to get her baby.
When Taisha came to this house, she reportedly went to that front door and knocked. Nadia Blockett was in the car waiting on Taisha when she says there was an argument.
She told him shut the f up. And she was in the yard and he was at his door. He never stepped on the porch. And so when she said that, he got mad and the door had shut.
The witness admits she handed Taisha a stun gun to take with her when she first got out of the car.
Because they were talking earlier that morning, they was already calling her and threatening her.
She says the young mother never pulled the stun gun. Taisha died a few doors down as she was trying to drive away.
For them to have a gun, I feel like that was all planned. They did not have to do this to my daughter. She had her whole future ahead of her.
But the person who fired the shots and who still hasn't been officially identified by officers has not been charged.
We just want some answers. You know, it's been 2 months, and we still haven't heard anything. They haven't called us to let us know, how the investigation going.
The Madison County Sheriff's Office sent us a press release saying the disturbance.
Was somebody standing behind that nigga with dreads? Or this nigga had a quarter dread haircut?
When she was shot, they told us all information has been turned over.
Oh my Lord, you niggas is wildin'.
We contacted the Madison County District Attorney Jody Pickens, who said no decision has been made on charges, and it's why these protesters showed up at the DA's office Thursday, but never got any further than the lobby. Even protesters from Memphis are joining in their cry for justice.
This man had time enough to go and cool off, and he murdered a young black mother in cold blood.
They also marched to the county mayor's office and were stopped at the entrance, but they did get the ear of Jackson City Mayor.
I have no authority over DA's office or the sheriff's department, but I can ask questions, and so that's what I'm going to do.
And they say they finally got to talk with the Madison County Sheriff's Office, who promised to meet with the family next week.
For this district attorney, even the mayor, we want answers. And whoever we need to be held accountable, we're going to do that.
We don't get no justice. Y'all don't get no peace.
April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
Hopefully they'll get the justice that they seek soon. Taisha Stark's family is also upset. They have not been able to see her young son, who is still with the father's family, and they have apparently moved away since the shooting.
Oh, wow, and they done took the damn baby.
Channel 2 Action News exclusive.
Man.
The police chief confirms a former McDonald's supervisor has now been charged with child molestation and other crimes involving a young woman who worked at the restaurant. And the suspect
just said it, niggas ain't shit.
Offender registry. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Lee is live at the Clayton County Jail.
What you niggas doing in 2023, man?
Police after a Channel 2 story in March.
That's right, and the new charges are out of Loganville, but we are at the Clayton County Jail because we understand he's been held on an unrelated case here. We begin with reaction from the alleged victim's mom, whom we are blurring to protect the identity of her daughter.
It's still rough. She's still dealing with, being a new mom. But today is a different kind of day. It's a day of rejoicing. It's a day of accomplishment.
Meaning?
He's gone. He's locked up.
We spoke to the alleged victim's mom Monday. She says Jamira Sampson impregnated her then 15-year-old daughter. For a story we reported last month, we encountered Jamira Sampson's name in the civil arena. It was in a lawsuit against McDonald's Corporation and others. But this new development involves his name in the criminal arena. New criminal charges, an arena with which he may be familiar. We found Jamira Sampson on sex offender sites. Mel Hewitt, plaintiff's attorney in the lawsuit, says Sampson was convicted of 2 sex offenses years before he was hired by the McDonald's at 4638 Atlanta Highway, Loganville, and that he was on the sex offender registry when hired and placed in a supervisory role.
He began grooming her, ended up getting what certainly everyone's going to claim is consensual sex, but she's 15 years old.
She's not legally able to consent.
She cannot, not in the state of Georgia.
Documents suggest Jamira Sampson has now been charged with child molestation, felony, statutory rape, felony, and enticing a child for indecent purposes, felony. Documents indicated all 3 offenses involve a child under the age of 16 and suggest Sampson took the victim in an automobile to an unknown park in Loganville and had sexual intercourse with the victim. Quote, the accused stated that he believed that he may be the father of the victim's child. A Clayton County warrant contains an allegation that Jamira Sampson on January 17th of this year committed an offense of aggravated assault by strangulation. A statement from Loganville Police Chief Dick Lowry says the Loganville Police Department has had an open criminal investigation regarding a reported statutory rape since February 2022, with Jamira Sampson as a suspect. After the WSB TV story on this case aired, additional information on the case and the suspect became available. Our detectives pursued the new information, and on Friday, April 21, 2023, were able to secure felony arrest warrants on Jamira Christopher Sampson, 29.
I definitely want him to pay for his crime, but it's still bittersweet. We need to heal the country, heal these people.
He indicated that at last check, Sampson was in the Clayton County Jail on an unrelated charge. For the March story, by phone, I reached a person who indicated it was Jamira Sampson. He indicated he did work as an assistant manager at McDonald's in Loganville. He suggested a young girl who worked at the Loganville McDonald's lied to him about her age, telling him she was 17, but he did not have a relationship with her or anyone underage. He suggested, though there were 2 charges listed in the lawsuit, both came from one case, and he'd been hardworking and had stayed law-abiding since his release from prison. And for that lawsuit story, we used a statement. Last year, McDonald's implemented its global brand standards, where all restaurants worldwide are assessed and held accountable to a set of standards addressing topics like harassment prevention and workplace safety. A statement attributable to Bruce Vineyard, McDonald's owner-operator, said, the allegations made in this lawsuit are disturbing, and this employee no longer works at our restaurant. My organization has always tried to be a place where everyone feels safe and respected when they come to work. We hold safe and respectful workplace training, and we always have an open door for employees to raise concerns.
The way this nigga talking hilarious, though. This shit ain't funny.
Says Jamira Sampson is represented by the Clayton County Public Defender Office on the aggravated assault charge, but the office has no comment on the assault allegation so far. We did reach out by email in case McDonald's wanted to make a new comment. That statement about the global brand standards is attributable to Tiffany Boyd, a senior VP at McDonald's USA. Reporting live, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action.
Man, what is wrong with niggas, man? I just had to pause real quick and take all of that in on that one right there, y'all, because I'm trying to think of different ways that could go, but it can't really go no other way. My thing is, nigga, this is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. This is not what nigga. This is 2020 motherfucking 23. I'll say that shit again. All that cruising by the high school shit that you creepy ass niggas was doing, that shit played out, man. Y'all can't do that shit. That shit over. They gonna fry your ass. Trust me. Especially that period. That's what they should have been doing in the first place. And y'all was only getting away with it because a lot of these women now that was young then didn't have daddies at their crib. Because I guarantee y'all wouldn't have been y'all wouldn't have been 20 and 24 and 22 and 20 and 26 dropping off 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds, 16 and a half-year-olds. Y'all niggas wild, man. Y'all niggas always been wild for that goofy ass shit, man. That shit, man. You can't do that shit, man. Period. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. I'm gonna tell you like that. Cause nigga like me, I catch you around my motherfucking kids, man, it's over with. Grooming, he ain't did nothing but he was making her think they was boyfriend and girlfriend. Man, we know what that shit was. We know what they was doing. Just like dude said, he ended up getting consensual sex, which is statutory because she's 15. It ain't about if she lied about her age or not. Kids can get work permits. You could work at McDonald's on a work permit when you're in high school, when you're 16 years old. I don't know about 15, that she might have been like 15, about to turn 16. I don't know. She might have been lying about her age, but at the same time, nigga, at work, when you know these as kids, is that what you're supposed to be doing? No. You're not supposed to be doing no stupid ass shit like that. So, you already down. He already down. He gonna get what he gonna get it. Boy, they not playing about that shit, man. Anyway, man, moving on, man, from the creepy ass nigga and that creepy ass shit, man. We got a quick one for y'all, man.
Show Aguirre had paid Nix $40 thinking he was the parking attendant. But when Aguirre and his date went to the restaurant, they learned they had been scammed.
The waiter says, hey, that guy scammed you, we know him. The defendant allegedly chases after this person.
Police say during that time, Aguirre allegedly confronted and shot Nix. He then allegedly returned to the restaurant to continue the date. Toto says his client had no idea that her date allegedly killed someone until it all showed up on the news.
She had an idea of what the situation was. And obviously her first reaction was, oh my God, I had nothing to do with this. I need to make sure that, the police don't suspect me or, start investigating me. So that's when we met up and we went and talked to the homicide detective.
Since then, police have learned that Aguirre is currently on probation for aggravated assault in another county. If he makes bond on the murder charge, he'll be subject to house arrest.
Wow.
Meet Kiana, Shiori, and Karthik. Just a few merchants from...
Finna get right the fuck, like, he ain't finna get off, but... They finna, I don't know what they gonna do about that. That's weird as hell, though. That's crazy. Oh, man. Anyway, moving on. $40, though. I don't know. Speechless.
Saddest things I've ever seen.
Oh, Lord.
Cop fatally shoots a young man, a father, holding his infant daughter.
Again.
You heard me. In Seattle, a 24-year-old man, Sean Furr, was shot in the head by police as he held his infant daughter. This actually happened in April of 2020. The reason why we know about it today is because of a new lawsuit that has been filed. So the young man, Sean, was holding his 1-year-old daughter as he ran through a construction site near Rainier Playfield when he was shot in the head by Officer Noah Zeck of the Seattle Police Department SWAT team. This officer is a 15-year veteran of the police force. The police were responding to an assault on a child abduction. I'm going to give you some background to this and some context, okay? The video of the shooting shows the police chasing Furr as they order him to stop running. So the 24-year-old complies, but is immediately shot by the police. Did you hear what I just said? He complies, but immediately is shot by the police. The lawsuit also noted that the baby falls to the ground after the officer and another officer approach the 24-year-old father. One officer instructs the other, pick up the 1-year-old. A copy of the lawsuit obtained by Atlanta Black Star noted that Sean Furr obeyed the officer's instructions, was unarmed when he was shot. The lawsuit also noted that this young father had enough time to contemplate his death and the harsh reality that he would never see his father or daughter again after the police shot him. He later died at Harborview Medical Center. Let's put up Carmen Best. Carmen Best, now retired, who served as the chief of police of Seattle from 2018 to 2020, claimed that the infant's safety was the police officer's priority, according to Como News. Now remember, the video clearly shows, and other publications have clearly echoed, that the young man was actually compliant and immediately shot and killed. There's more. The shooting was found to be justified by the Office of Police Accountability after the SPD was criticized for using excessive force. OPA determined that given the totality of the circumstances, and let me explain that. Let me explain what that means. Totality of the circumstances is when they basically say, all right, normally we would say this is wrong. Normally we would say this is illegal. But when we consider the totality of circumstances, let me tell you the circumstance they're considering. He's a black male. They would not have even tried this with a white male or white female carrying an infant, carrying a white infant who complied. If a white male or white female carrying an infant complied, they would be alive. You know why? Because they would not have wanted to risk the life of the infant. I know many will see this story as a black male, but keep in mind that baby could be dead too. You cannot present an argument to me that you were trying to protect the life of the infant when the father complied and you immediately killed him, while at the same time putting that same infant in absolute danger to die. There's more. Let's put him up. This is your chief, all right? Chief Adrian Diaz is the current head of the Seattle Police Department. At this point, the buck stops with him. We will continue to follow this story. Ricky, what are your thoughts about this, man?
You know what's funny? The fact, even if they fire that police officer, he'll go to one county over and get hired, probably become the police chief. And it seems like people like
is
like
this
the
or
man
is
that
this not
killed
what I
Trayvon
always
Martin,
fucking say to y'all, man?
They go up the ladder in police. In this particular one that killed Trayvon Martin, whatever his name is, George Zimmerman, he ended up going on a book tour, and he go to places like CPAC and right wing, and it's almost like there's no accountability. They won't even change the laws, so the police officer himself, the individual, could be held accountable or get sued. It seems like they're protected, and it seems like when it comes to black people, their first option is to shoot first. And how can you tell me that you're trying to do what's in the best interest of a child, bringing a baby that close to bullets?
Thank you.
It's every.
I don't even know what to say about that right there, man. I think I want y'all to weigh in. I know what I feel. Ain't no way. They just wanted to shoot a nigga. There ain't no way they thought about that child's life or that child's safety doing some shit like that. They just wanted to kill a nigga, man. And this sad as fuck, man. Rest in peace to that young man, man. And condolences to that baby, and I hope she well taken care of, you know, during their, you know, through life. And I hope that her family, her mom, the mother, the parents, like they said, dude's dad or whatever, I hope they go ahead and get some bread, sue. It ain't even about the money. but it's just the damages, like a whole life. Like they need to sue for every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So, next, man, we're gonna start trying to lighten it up, man. I hope we gonna go with it. I know this is funny for me, so.
Second half of the fact room. Since it appears the days of Freaknik, look it up, Google it, could be coming back to haunt some Gen X folk. People my age. A lot of people's moms and dads have been dreading the release of a new documentary about the event. The working title is called Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told, which is appropriate because it was the most popular festival among black college students in the 80s and 90s. It was like their spring break. There are plans in motion to stop it from hitting Hulu. According to reports, a group of unnamed professional black women are planning to file a lawsuit to stop it. The documentary can't be released because they did not sign any media releases at the time. Let's jump right into the conversation. Joining me now
don't matter. This is documentary.
One witness to Freaknik, Rob G, the General, DJ Superstar's Too Young, and attorney Simone Redwine, who was too young as well. Now, I think it was like 89 or 90, you know, and Rob, you went, right?
I was there in 91,
okay.
You know, and that's when it took over and really got crazy. Beforehand, it was, you know, it was set up as a way for the kids from DC to have something to go to because they couldn't go home. They couldn't afford to go home. So it was just a DJ. They had some go-go bands, and nobody was checking for go-go in Atlanta. So they wanted to, you know, be reminded of home. So it started out nice and wholesome. The people from Spelman and from Clark and from the AU Center, it started out something cool and nice for them, an HBCU style. But then it grew. More people found out, and less collegiate people started coming, and that's where it kind of turned crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't there. I might not be a lawyer today.
But for those, and there are some women out there who say they don't want this documentary to air because they may be in some of those videos.
We only bring this up because we know y'all love this shit. I like talking about it.
I think it was twerking before twerking. What was it called back then?
Oh, what? No,
Pee popping.
It was more like
Booty Bump.
Tootsie Roll. What was the other one?
No, pee popping. Thank you.
Can't say the other word.
Pee popping.
Pee popping. There you go. On the handstand.
So would they be able to fight this? Is this, you know, a legitimate lawsuit, or they just?
No.
Unfortunately, there's no expectation of privacy when you are pee popping or twerking on a public street, right? In fact, they did it because they wanted people to see. So here, the lady's argument is that, well, they didn't sign releases. But you don't have to. When you are in a public place, when there are cameras in plain view, and even after seeing the cameras, you keep twerking. So in that instance, they get to continue. And then the law is very protective when you say it's a documentary or a newsworthy program, like here. And so even if it was illegally obtained footage, because this is newsworthy, because Hulu itself didn't illegally do the footage, they can still release it.
All right.
Boom.
So, Superstar, what you gonna do?
I just said boom.
What you gonna do?
I can't wait till they come out.
I'm kidding. She has no videos. But what do you think about that for them to come back all these years later and say this will harm their career, their reputation?
I don't think so. I think that is just so ridiculous to me when I heard that. I was like, first of all, they'll probably blur it out, you know, blur. And then who's to say that they got them on camera?
Exactly. It's not even done.
That's very presumptuous.
Look, niggas had the whips out, boy.
That ass out there.
Isaiah, that was 30 years. That was 30 years ago. They probably gained 40 pounds and probably unrecognizable by now.
Anyway, nobody gonna know you.
Although there is footage of
They
Yolanda
roasted them
Adams,
all. Ah!
Oh boy, yeah. Oh my my goodness. Yes.
But whatever we find on Yolanda, she's redeemed herself. Doesn't even matter anymore.
When niggas used to rock them Jeeps like that.
So have you been intrigued by all of this, Superstar?
I have been really intrigued.
I can't wait to see that shit.
Me and my friends, we just had finished high school and we drove down to pick up my friend in New Orleans, and we drove to Atlanta. So we experienced it, I think, when it was like on the down slope, you know, when it was real ratchet. But I mean, everybody who had our clothes on and stuff, but I think it is, I mean, hey, if you're from Houston, you know about the Kappa Beach party. I think that was way over the
I think more people in Houston would be scared about a Kappa Beach party. If you know anything about the U-Haul, man, then yeah. Then,
wait, so what?
Just people who know about the Kappa Beach party and the U-Haul, man, you can't Google that.
But the men today, those are probably the ones that really need to worry, because although the statute of limitations passed and they can't face any criminal charges if they were misbehaving, you know, social media will cancel you.
Yeah,
they will send your photo to your job. They'll get you at the post office. Whatever.
But so you think people will go back that far and then try to do all that to get somebody back just because they see them on the video?
I think it just depends on how aggressive the behavior
is. Depending on how much they don't like them, how much they want to hate on their ass.
Because of how aggressive the men were behaving.
I think the problem is, more than anything else, is most Gen Xers, all the nasty deeds that they did were not documented on social media like they are today. And so they're afraid, like my mom always told me, man, what's done in the dark comes to light.
And you know that track record from Freaknik to Magic City.
Yeah.
See, I don't know about all that.
Before the police started all that weekend.
Well, thank you guys.
The first time you made a sale online was also the first.
That is hilarious, y'all. Yeah, we had to lighten it up a little bit, man. So with that, always trying to leave y'all with some good stuff, man. You know, we've been trying to lighten it up. But we do want y'all to know what's going on around you, what's going on in your backyard, what's going on in your cities. We got this, and I got one other thing. I was asked by one of my, you know, my brother, man, one of my family members, man. And he a long time, you know, he's a West Coaster, and he a long time, you know, you're OG and he a long time watcher, man, and listener of the podcast and everything like that we doing, and you know, watcher of the show, talking shit he been down since the beginning, and he asked me to touch on something, and I'm gonna touch on it. I can't do nothing but play a sound bite, so I'll play a sound bite for y'all. I want to play something for y'all, and I want y'all to hear. I want y'all to hear this, and I want everybody. Y'all just remember, before we get into this, I want everybody to chime in. All my folks that's watching this stuff, even if you watch the rebroadcast, I want you to put what you think about this topic in the comments. So, okay, and this is Ghostface. So if you want to know who's talking, if y'all don't know who talking, all my hip hop heads, I know Drib know exactly. As soon as I push play, I know Drib gonna know exactly who it is. But if y'all don't know, I'll let y'all know at the end. I already told y'all, just, you know, and I'll go over it at the end. But and I thought this was very interesting. And it's something that I believe he laid out to the T. It's something that's very, 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 very true. So I'm gonna let y'all hear.
Kids have no spiritual guidance. They're not afraid of anything. Not afraid of anything. You know what I mean? See, me, I'm a spiritual person. It's like I went through that phase, but not as heavy as the kids now, because they don't got no respect or nothing. When I was young, I couldn't curse in front of one of the elder elderladies in the building and stuff like that. I held the door and it was respected. It was none of that shit. You know what I mean? But it's like these kids now is no spiritual guidance. It's like, you know, like they don't know God. If you knew God straight up and you had a personal relationship, you'll be scared to death because you know what your penalty is going to be. See, we got to realize on earth, this is just a trial. Because
so, y'all let me know, y'all put in the comments, man, what y'all think about that. I think that's very, very, very true. We have, and I've touched on it before, and I touched on it again. I think I put something on somebody's post too, on a friend of mine's post, because I put it up when Jerry Springer passed. So, by the way, rest in peace to Jerry Springer. I don't care about how you feel about me saying that, whatever. I don't care. I watched it. I've seen what he, you know, I've seen what he brought. I've seen the platform that he provided, and I've seen people go crazy. So, I mean, it is what it is. He provided a platform. You either do what you want to with it. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, guests came on there and they chose to do some crazy shit, and it just became what it was. He didn't even like it at first. So, I mean, it is what it is. Y'all can go look that up, man. It's a whole documentary about that. But anyway, these kids, man, the youth, man, we've lost mortality. I only say all that to say this. I put that up on the post because, like, even when Jerry passed, no one cared about the mortality of this person. It was jokes, and it was just, it was jokes and attacks, and he did this, he brought the black community down, he did, man, listen, can't no man bring you down but yourself. If you sign up to go do a show talking about your ex-girlfriend thinks she a horse or whatever, that's what the fuck you doing that. That nigga didn't tell you to do that. You know, nobody told you to do. Like, we're not being held accountable for our own actions. Like, people forget whether it's black, white, red, yellow. I don't care who you are. If you do crazy shit, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. You do crazy shit, you a crazy motherfucker. You fuck up, you a fuck up. I mean, that's just how it go. Like, it ain't no color about it. I mean, that just is what it is, man. But we lost mortality, man. Nobody, and I'm not saying you're supposed to be care, boo-hoo and cry, but just like the respect, the decency. I remember growing up, like he said, I remember growing up, you was told not to joke about shit like that. You was told always, them elders would tell you don't play with the dead. Like, period. Let them rest. Let them folks rest. That even go back to just the way people do people in their own lives and their own families. I know y'all seen that shit happen. Somebody pass and motherfuckers get to talking crazy, or people get to doing shit, or even people get to acting fake as hell. Like they fucked with you, or like they fucked with them, or whatever. Weird, goofy shit. We lost mortality, man. We lost mortality. Whoever you believe in, like he said, it could be God. I mean, he didn't say this, but I'm adding to it. Whoever you believe in, whatever kind of spiritual higher power or whatever, man. Sometimes I don't know. Like, I'm not the most, religious. Like, I'm not finna preach to you. I'm not the most religious person. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of religion in me, and I've been through it, around it a lot. Those who know me know, and they know why, but you know what I'm saying? I got my own views on that. Me and everybody don't see eye to eye on that type of stuff. Because I watched a lot of things. Going on, a lot of the brainwashing, and we honestly being done the same way before it was brainwashing us on spirituality in the church and this and that, and as far as certain aspects of it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely am a true believer. You know what I'm saying? I believe in God. I've seen miracles. And God work in mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying? I got a personal relationship with him. But all this other stuff that people tell you that you should be, you got some of the most craziest people and hypocritical people in those positions in spirituality that want to tell you what you are and what you're not. But you're not supposed to be judged. Like, so... Anyway, that's a whole rabbit hole. But period, the mortality, the basis of it, what they really trying to say is that, like he said, man, you would be scared, or you would, be thinking of what's going on in the afterlife, or you just would be cognizant of, playing with stuff like that. It's playing with forces of nature and God and whoever you believe in, and those things, like those things, man, it's serious, man. So, like I said, I ain't gonna harp on that too much, man. I just wanted to drop something on you, man. I did that for my boy, man. I did that for my dog, my brother Stizzle, man. Shout out, man. Big shout out to you, homie. And thanks for that. Like I told you, that was deep. I liked it that. But I really want y'all to reach out, put that shit in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about that shit, man. How y'all feel about that? That's a nice talking point. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put up a post. I'm gonna do something real special, man. I'm gonna put up a post on that, man. I'm trying to work some new shit. So y'all already know, man. But let's keep it on the light. I just wanted to go to that. So let's shift to this. Let's keep it on the upbeat. Let's look at some stuff, some people. Let's look at our young black kids, man. Look at these young black. Look at the kids, man. We got something going here, man. Let's get into that, man.
Welcome back. We are taking time this February to honor Black history, and today we are sharing a story of a young girl with an extraordinary talent.
Okay, I can't wait for this one. 10-year-old Victory Brinker is already making her mark in history. Alyssa Royster with her sister station in Pennsylvania has the story.
Hi, I'm Victory. At first glance, Victory Brinker looks like your average 10-year-old. For example, she loves playing with her dog Gus, hanging out with her siblings.
I have 10 brothers and sisters.
And as for what she wants to be when she grows up,
they got a lot of options.
A singer.
Can you sing?
Yes.
How good?
Pretty good.
Yeah, she's definitely being modest.
Right. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, she go. Okay.
Victory's voice has taken her all across the U.S. and even outside of it.
I've gone to Paris, gone to Milan, Italy.
Her pipes would even land her on the stage of America's Got Talent, where she'd sing in front of the one and only Simon Cowell.
Everyone says like he's tough or mean, but I like Simon.
And Simon liked Victory, right. So much so that not only did she get 4 yeses from the judges, but the golden buzzer.
It felt great. The confetti was really pretty, and I was like grabbing handfuls and stuffing it in Mom's purse.
Mom Christine, aka Victory's
momager,
says Victory was born with it.
She was singing little nursery rhymes at 18 months, and she was on pitch.
Morning, noon, and night, Mom says Victory can be heard singing.
Victory sometimes sings in her sleep. Yes, we try to figure out what song is she singing in there.
Her siblings agree that their sister sings.
That's in her soul.
Though when asked if it can get a little annoying.
Sometimes. She sings a lot.
But they did find a fix for it, telling Victory to sing to her stuffed animals instead.
So I did.
Making the perfect audience, her teddies could never compare to her biggest audience yet.
It was 67,000 at a Steelers game.
You'd think she'd be nervous, but instead, Victory says she felt 1, happy, and 2, freezing.
I had to wear like 4 coats,
Yep.
a big hat, lots of socks, and
Hot up here.
lots of
Cold
pants
up there.
too.
Accomplishment after accomplishment, Victory thought she had done it all. That is until
the Guinness World Records contacted us,
asking if Victory would be interested in breaking the world record for the youngest opera singer.
She sang on the show not knowing that she was going there to receive a Guinness World Record. She had no idea. We kept it as a surprise.
I feel great because I didn't really know a lot about the Guinness World Record.
And who could blame her? I mean, she did qualify at the young age of
7 years old and 314 days.
If that wasn't impressive enough, Victory can hit over 3 octaves as well as sing in 8 different languages.
English, of course, Latin, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Korean, and Ukrainian.
With the sky as her limit, Victory says at the end of the day, she has one simple goal.
I want to inspire others to follow their dreams.
Reporting for WTAJ News, I'm Alyssa Royster.
I heard that, Victory.
This was a hell of a story.
That is what's up. That is what's up. And yes, Rashad, it was a hell of a story. I love talking shit, man. You already know that's what we do. But like I said, man, we're going to end it on a good note, man. We trying to bring some upbeat vibes to this, man. We're going to always trying to bring something nice, something cool. And I know that was a little old, but I know a lot of people might not have knew about that. So I'm glad that was in there. So, and still people, man, on some real, man, like she said, y'all heard what she said, man. Follow your dreams, man. With that being said, man, we out, man. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in, man, for sliding through, checking me out. I see y'all over there on YouTube, man. And if y'all don't know, man, y'all check it out on YouTube. I know some people might be watching on Twitch and Facebook and some other things, but yeah, if y'all want to chat with me live while we doing this, for one, y'all could come into the Discord. I will put the link in the description when it comes out tomorrow. And also for 2, y'all can follow on YouTube. Log on to the YouTube. Y'all can type. I'm active in the chat right there. Boom. Right then and there. I'll hit you back in the chat. And that's that, man. Y'all can talk some shit, man. In case y'all don't want to be on film with your camera and all that kind of stuff, man. I understand how it is. I mean, you know, I got to bring it to y'all whether or not, you know what I'm saying, I go see my nigga Dirty Red or not. You see, I ain't seen him. I've been out moving around, running rough, man, all day, man. But I'm going to get cleaned up, man. I'm going to tap it in. Anyway, man, you already know, man. Like I said in my lane, man, coming out this summer, man. This summertime, I'm trying to put the finishing touches on it. Gallimaufry 2. It's going to be shaking soon. I heard it's almost done. I got to drop some shit on there, man. I got to get with Cuz. Y'all gonna have to sign a petition for me, man. AKA hashtag bring Drib back. We ain't seen Drib in a couple weeks, man. Drib, we gotta get back. Niggas been asking about you, man. And Tone, everybody, man. Iceberg, man. Miss Cassandra, Shannon Malone, Cuz, Miss Goody Two Damn Shoes. She been working hard. I already know what's going on. She been working hard and mothering over there. Mothering like she be mothering. You feel me? So shout out to y'all, man. Tone Spitz, man, gotta tap in, man. Tap in and let us know when The Critic is coming out or if it's out, man. We gotta smack some of that. Cause like I said, man, the shit I heard, fire. Y'all niggas ain't ready for that type of shit, man. Real motherfucking music, man. Niggas that's not trying to be like nobody else. Niggas that's just them, that's just coming out with some good ass music. They don't sound like nobody. They sound like them. They got a message. They got good ass motherfucking lyrics. Man, I can't wait, man. I be excited about y'all shit, man, because I be proud when I be hearing my motherfucking niggas do shit like that, man. So, man, anybody that want to work, man, you already know, man. Reach out, man. So, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer, man. Remember, check out blackmoneymedia.live, man. Get y'all some merch. Get y'all some custom merch. It ain't just my shit. You can make your own shit. Go get your own shit on there, man. Y'all see this the quality? This the kind of quality. I think this shirt right here might be like 5-6 years old, man. Still popping, still colorful. You see popping, Janet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it goes, man. Shout out to JT's. We got to get you on here. Matter of fact, man, Coach, I'm coming for you, man. I'm getting you on here, man. With that being said, man, we out, man. Talking shit, episode 63, man. Like we always say, hug somebody, tell them you love them, call your folks, man. All right, peace.